So which account would this be? Is your citizen?
Yeah, that's bond tracking number, or the what's the other thing they call it? It'll come to me. Yes.
Do you sell these packages? Do you have a package that deals with these loans?
Yeah, the student loan package is specific in there, and it explains it all.
All different loans and bills and things like that?
No, I mean, again, if you are in, say, someone was asking me about credit card debt, would this apply to credit card debt? If that credit card debt was a result of you going out and, living high off the hog, then no, it has to be something that you can point to and claim this is a right, a benefit to me, a benefit to my society, and it's acknowledged by the government of Canada here. When you have all of those, then yes, you can. And if you had your mortgage paid off, any orders that came at you by the government or by the courts, your education was all paid for, at what point do you start saying, okay, that's pretty cool, I'm willing to work now, and I don't expect it all given to me? I think that's huge to get to the point where we just recognize we don't have to pay the banks 3 times over for our house. We can discharge it right off the bat and do it immediately.
Simply by that understanding?
Well, it's the claim of right. You want to get to a point where you have a perfected claim of right. That's going to be the house that you want to build. A notice of understanding and intent, that's the foundation you build before you try building your house, because as Jesus said, you don't build on sand. It'll fall.
Do you need passports?
I don't know. Whether or not, it depends. If you go to some countries, they are going to be operating from a perspective where if you don't have one, you're going to be hooped. The question is not, do you need a passport? The question is, do you have to go through the government to get a passport? That would be a better question. You can craft your own passport. Who says you can't? Who gives you the passport you have if not your representatives? The power that they have to create these passports is only the power that you originally gave them. It's a matter of whether or not that's going to be accepted by the country you're going to. Historically, letters of invitation, a family Bible, has always been suitable for passing through, and getting back in the country as a free man, no one can stop you. And they can't stop you from leaving. It's a matter of whether or not you can get into another country and whether or not they'll recognize your passport.
The common law country would be okay.
And because you've got the power within the Commonwealth anyways to serve notice of understanding and intent, claim of right, and bind them just as well. If you're a free man on the land in the Commonwealth, who says you can't bring that status anywhere?
Who is part of the Commonwealth? What countries?
New Zealand, Australia, there's Barbados, Jamaica, there's a whack of them.
Anywhere they have a lieutenant governor or governor general.
Yes.
Okay, so the states wouldn't be part of it?
No.
Don't have a governor general there.
That's what I figured.
But they do have common law, and a lot of the remedy that I talk about is available to people down there, and they certainly have a bond tracking number on their birth certificate.
So if you're saying that the bond is producing money every year, what would you estimate would be the value of that on an annual basis? Has anyone calculated that out?
What was looked at, from what I understand, someone did a study on this to try to figure exactly that out. And what they found was that based on one birth, the value of the treasury increased by about $1.2 million. Now, one second.
That's over a lifetime? Or?
No, because that's just at birth. Essentially, what supports the bond is their belief that you will be taxable later. So anything that increases their rate to tax you is going to up the value of that bond. When you get a social insurance number, they can increase the value. If you graduate from high school, it increases in value. If you become a doctor, it increases in value. For a doctor, that bond might be worth $50 million, and it might be generating $5 a year. What it does basically boil down to is your ability to be taxed, and it represents your ownership in the country. So if you were to look at the value of the country and then divide it by the number of people, then you would have a very good rough estimate as to the value of that bond, the fundamental on-the-market value of what that bond is. Divide that by what you could get, say 4%, and you're looking at pretty much what it's generating. But it's generating, dude, every one of your bonds is generating at least $1 million a year.
So where's all the money going?
Dude, look around. Look around. Look around, it's going into the politicians' banks, it's going into their lifestyle, it's going into their roads, their system.